Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. TJ Pittenger, Ben Cock, and Brendan Sinone, who is, quote, not a loser if you're watching this anywhere. Fresh off of our weekend hanging out. And when I say weekend, it's really like one day. We were up there for 3 days. Brendan didn't come see us at the tailgate. He wouldn't come out with us on Friday night.
Yeah, dude, what in the world?
We got like 12 solid Brendan hours, really like 10. We left around 10:30.
So I was fairly hungover on Sunday, and
really,
yeah. I would say the good thing about COVID, and it's not a whole lot of good things about it. But
the good thing about this,
that's great. The good thing about COVID
is
that's gonna be the show's title. The good thing about COVID.
Thanks,
COVID.
The very few upsides that I've had is this derailing my physical, just the whole deposition of my whole body and mind. I can drink not very much and really save a lot of money and get the effect that I need just after a little bit. So there's that.
That's nice. That's nice.
So we had a good time up in Tallahassee. Ben, that's your first time in Tallahassee?
Oh yeah. Never been out there before.
First time in Tallahassee. We went out on Friday. We hit up Proof Brewing. They don't sponsor the show, so maybe we shouldn't be saying their name.
No, just say a brewery in Tallahassee.
Yeah, brewery in Tallahassee that we liked. It was good. I mean, I love Proof, and I thought Ben had a good time. My buddy Johnny, shout out Johnny, went with us.
It was so good up until TJ left.
And then we left Ben. My wife went with me. So we went to dinner. Sorry, we didn't take you to dinner. But then we did get back together again for another brewery. We went to Ology, so Tallahassee folks will know that one as well.
Shout out Ology, man. That place was solid. I
also
love it.
Fantastic.
Ology's starting to do a little distilling. They got a little distillate going on.
They were good. I like that place.
So love Proof. Proof's such a cool spot. Ology was great. Both had great beers. Had a good time there. Saturday, we did go out with Brendan quite a lot. If you didn't check out Tuesday's episode, we recorded that on Saturday. It was live in person. Audio is probably not quite as good as this is, but it wasn't bad at all. I listened back to it today. Audio sounded fine. Everything was kind of clear. We did a review of all three K-Sig. Did you understand? Did you get that was the joke? K signature. Kirkland signature.
Baby. Costco.
Like you're making it fancier than it is. I got you. That's a good one.
For the K-Sig bourbons, the small batch, bottle and bond, and single barrel. After that, we went out and got Brendan pretty liquored up. It was great. We went to Hobbit, has great wings, watched the Alabama shellacking of Miami. Ben was really into that sporting event. And then
money on all the games.
We went to a booster bar in Tallahassee. Brendan, do that one more time. We went to a booster bar there in Tallahassee.
Yep.
Not to flex on you guys, but I was able to get us into there because the bar next to it was like super long wait. So we got right in because you're truly. Then we went to another brewery, Oyster City, and we went and got some pizza. And then Brendan was down for the count.
Brendan.
I was good. I was good after I mixed Pedialyte with my beer. Then after that, I started recovery.
Rally! I love it.
That's amazing. And then Sunday we tailgate. Ben and I tailgated all day. Again with our buddy Johnny, with Matt from Bay Canyon Beer Company. I've given every brewery in the state of Florida a shout out at this point.
Yeah, this started as you not wanting to mention one non-sponsor's name. You've now mentioned like 8 businesses that don't sponsor. No.
Guthrie surprised the chicken at the Double Fries No Slaw tailgate. And then we
Thanks, Double Fries. You're the best.
We went into the football game, had a good time.
Double cheese, no crust.
Ooh,
that's right. Shout out.
Terrible.
Inside joke.
Great joke.
Check out our OnlyFans for that joke. So anyway, fun time in Tallahassee. Go check out Tuesday's episode if you haven't listened to it, in which we review quickly. We didn't give them our full point reviews like we will tonight, but gave our little review of the Kirkland signature Costco bourbons. They were fantastic. I don't know if they were fantastic. They were good.
General takeaway: there's some decent ones, and then there's not some decent ones.
For the price, they're really good.
Yeah. The single barrel for the price was pretty great.
I was more bottle and bond.
I was more the cream of Kentucky that I cracked last night.
No, you didn't. No,
I didn't. I didn't.
You got to be kidding me.
What are we reviewing today, Brendan?
Woo! Have you ever heard of Early Times in Sheerwine? Great song.
No.
This is just Early Times bottled in bond. Look at this beautiful bottle and bond bottle. I love the blue label. Screw top.
Yes.
It is so it's a straight bourbon. Bottle and bond, obviously, it's going to be 4 years old. It's from Early Times Distillery in Louisville, which was, when this bottle was procured, part of Brown-Forman, but Sazerac acquired an Early Times whiskey brand and inventory in 2020, and then recently announced, I think back in April, that it was going to be made at Barton 1792 Distillery, which is where
Kirkland, baby.
Woo! So, we didn't plan it that way, but there's a little bit of a link there. And so right now, I got the statement from Sazerac saying that there's a lot of prohibition style offerings, sweet notes of caramel. Yeah, we need all that stuff. Basically, though, here we go. Though Early Times will have a new home, Barton's 1792 Distillery will continue to deliver the same great tasting Early Times bottle and bond product that consumers have grown to love using the original recipe and mash bill, which is 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. Ben was sipping it earlier, and you were like, hey, this doesn't taste like a Brown-Forman expression.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, I don't get the banana, and so what's going on, Mr. Brown?
It's
Mr. Foreman?
Mr. Foreman Brown. It's a slightly different mash bill. So the 79% corn, 11% rye, 10% malted barley is different because I think Woodford and I think Old Forester, which are also Brown-Forman, use a higher rye, like closer to 18 or 19%. So that would be the primary difference. As I said, this was aged at least 4 years, bottled and bond. MSRP is going to be between $25 to $30. It's fairly easy to find in Georgia, which isn't too far from me. So I've been able to find this a couple times. Florida, I do not believe it's sold in Florida currently, at least when it was with the Brown-Forman. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Early Times being moved to Barton 1792. That'll change the distribution some.
Because Sazerac hasn't started selling Early Times yet, right?
I do not believe so.
It's all still like Brown-Forman.
So that's out there, yep. And so people know too. So it's going to be at Barton Distillery, but Sazerac initially I was like, ooh, I thought it was going to be like a Buffalo Trace, Rickhouse kind of deal. Not the case though, unfortunately.
It'll still be allocated and hard to find.
We'll see. It's not hard to find if you're in Georgia, man. Just in Florida. So just drive on up to Tallahassee.
Not yet.
All right.
Well, now that you just told everyone,
I know. Goodbye.
It's pretty readily available online for like $25. Then you got to pay shipping. But
so Ben, start us off with. We go through several different things here: nose, taste, finish, and then we'll rate it. Talk about this nose.
Yeah. So to me, the nose is not Brown-Forman nose. There's like no banana, plenty of like oak, caramel, maybe a little bit of like a bitter coffee.
All coffee is bitter.
I can see like a creamy coffee. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Ben's not in love with the nose. I think it's your
it's not like I'm not super impressed with the nose. I know this is like a cult classic, at least when it was like released, like OG, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah, people were like, "Oh, this is a great value whiskey."
Yeah, I'm not super over the moon.
I think it's a really, really, really nice nose. The oak and the caramel are there for sure. A little sweet, like creamy coffee, cinnamon, cherry. Like it's bourbon. But
maybe a little cherry. Yeah,
pleasant. It's very pleasant. I think it's a very nice nose. And I know we will judge you on value later, but for like $25, like, yeah. I'm feeling it. I think this is a nice everyday sipper kind of deal that you're not going to break the bank on.
I think it's above average nose. I mean, it's not. I think you guys are getting way too. Ben's getting way too technical with it.
I could be.
I think he's overthinking it a little bit.
Thinking too much.
A little chocolate too, a little milk chocolate in there. Yeah, you know what? There's a nice amount.
This nose is nice.
There's a amount going on. I knew TJ. I thought before we started recording, I knew Ben wasn't going to like it, and I thought TJ was going to like it.
I like a lot of spice, I like a lot of character,
All right,
give me a.
Yeah, I'm trying to not let Ben's little I don't like it shake. It's not going to ruin it for me. Actually, I really like this nose.
He's still in a bad mood because you didn't come by the tailgate on Sunday.
Sorry,
I know, man. Where were you at on that day? Come on.
I literally napped
Game
like
day.
at 2 o'clock to 3
Game
o'clock.
day.
I was not feeling well.
Could have got us on the way in though if we're keeping it a buck.
You mean walked all the way around and go out of my way in the 90-degree heat?
Yes, that's
the rest of us were in the entire game.
Yeah,
and all day, but whatever.
Yeah, at least you got up to go to the air conditioning, Brendan. Like that must be nice.
Yeah, he went straight from the Uber, straight from his limo Uber to the press box.
He actually rides in the coach's backseat.
On the taste, I'm getting vanilla. Very vanilla.
I haven't tasted it yet. I was giving Brendan a hard time. Let me try it here.
Very vanilla, very oaky. This is gonna score pretty well with cohesiveness because it is cohesive.
I can get a little milk chocolate on the taste, not like a dark bitter chocolate, but like a milk chocolate. Creamy, a little more creamy than.
Okay, I like that, but because it's kind of got some harsh edges on it. Because what did we talk about an age statement on it?
4 years, I believe, is bottom bond. It doesn't say anything over. It just says bottom bond. And so usually when that happens, I assume it's 4 years though. When they
4
don't
years
say
and a
anything
day.
beyond that, yeah. It is a little sharper, TJ. I'm with you there. It does kind of shoot off. It's not as rich and hefty as some other bourbons could be.
So I get the sharpness. I do get a little bit of the milk chocolate. Again, this could just be power of suggestion, but because of that, it's kind of like a cheaper milk chocolate. It's like your Hershey's. It's not Dove or Ghirardelli. Right. No, we just say Ghirardelli, bro. This is not that.
A lot of times when I hear
milk chocolate.
A lot of times when I hear like sharp, I always think like acidic or like on the fruity spectrum, like a citrus or things like that. Then I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that here. I think it's more like very like sharp wood notes. So it's not really young per se, but it's more harsh on the tannins.
I can see that because the oakiness does jump out at me. It seems to me when I say sharp, I'm thinking of like if like those radar charts that are like a hexagon kind of, and like you can fill out different categories and whatnot. To me, it's like it's not well rounded. It's kind of like starts like shooting out in like different parts. And that's how when I say sharp, that's kind of how my brain's interpreting it. It jumps at you in different areas in different ways.
When I say sharp, I mean like a knife literally stabbing my tongue, like sharp. Like
just like just stabbing right in the mouth.
I just wanted all of us to have different definitions.
Okay.
Oh man, do that again.
Go watch on YouTube.
I don't need you to screenshot.
Go watch it on YouTube.
I mean, it'll be on YouTube, but I need the click. I need people to click.
Just pretend. Just imagine Brendan trying to stab himself with a knife in his mouth.
Just get that visual in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, finish.
Aggressively.
I had to be very careful with the hand placement and what angle it was at. The finish to me, not unpleasant. Definitely like nice cinnamon spice there. Kind of then like turns into like this marshmallow toasty sweetness. So it's nice. It just drops off a little bit more than I thought, given that the nose has a nice amount going on. So it kind of goes like that, and then a little sharp, but still like decent amount of flavor. And then the finish just kind of shoots down a little bit for me. So drop some. Did I explain that well?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. I'll also go back. There is a nice, so because it's a 100 proof, I'll even go back to taste and bring this into finish. There is a nice mouthfeel to it. Brandon, go ahead.
That's your mouthfeel. I thought that earlier, then forgot.
It's got a nice thickness to it, nice viscosity. It's not super heavy, but I do think it's a little thicker. We're going from Gentleman Jack last week into this. And so, where that was just like absolute water, doesn't coat your mouth at all. This does kind of coat your mouth. Hold on for a little bit of a hug. The finish itself is not super. It falls off a little bit, but I would say it's not terrible. Like this is probably going to get a 0.5, 0.75 for me. Like this is we'll get to scoring and I'll try it a couple more times before we finalize that. But I don't think this finish is bad. It's maybe slightly above average. Maybe not enough to get up to that 0.75 of a point, but I don't think this finish is awful.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I would say it's about average. It performs pretty well with like the other contenders that are, towards the upper end of our list. But it's not spectacular by any means.
It's pleasant too, like the notes that it does hit at the way out, like are fine, right? Like there's nothing crazy about it. It's pleasant, rides off nicely.
There's plenty of bottles that are like they finish terribly at this price point. So,
So let's rate it for those that maybe are just tuning in for the first time or have not tuned in a while. You get 10 points: 2 for nose, 4 for taste, 1 for finish, 1 for cohesiveness and complexity. 2 for value. Once you get those first 8, you can kind of rate this on value. As a general rule, I try to rate those first 8 points without thinking of the price. I truly try and go into those first 4 almost blind and not thinking of the price and what it is. That way I'm truly rating a taste and a finish and a nose and how cohesive or complex something is without thinking of the price. And then I like to take my 8-point score, my out of 8-point score, and then give it a value finish based on what I've gotten. So I don't know if these guys do that or not, but just wanted to kind of give some insight into my brain and how dumb it works. 2 points for nose. Brendan, start us off.
I have been, while you were talking about your dumb brain, I've been going back and forth on my Word document between 1.25 and 1.5. 1.25, 1.5. I feel like I love early times in general. I'm a fan of it. If you listen on the Bench podcast, you know why. I think it's a cool bottle.
What podcast was that, Brendan?
On the Bench podcast, wildly popular.
Never heard of
In
it.
need of a sponsorship. If you're looking to sponsor a podcast that's more popular than Double Fries No Slaw, let me know. And, What? Sorry. What? No, nothing. 1.25 is what I'm going to go with. I'm trying not to be a homer here.
Ben.
Is TJ legit mad?
I just thought that'd be funny.
I'm thinking, I probably agree with Brendan. It's not a stellar performer here. The more I smell it, though, it doesn't get worse over time, which is something we talked about. I almost get like a chocolate-covered strawberry.
Yeah,
Now,
it has got a nice like red
later.
fruit vibe. Yeah,
So I'm kind of enjoying that a little bit. So I'll go 1.25.
I'm gonna go to 1.5.
Oh,
Ben
dang
talked
it.
me up one. Yep.
I agree with Brendan. I'm going 1.5 here.
Hold on. You agree with me then because I got Brendan to there. So basically, you agreed with
But
people
he
getting
gave
on my
him-
bandwagon.
But it was my score, and I just
Right.
yeah.
I agree with Brendan's score. So
Based on my
1.5 for
suggestion.
me.
I thought Ben was gonna go like 0.75, and then
No, it's not that bad.
Taste. Ben, we'll start with you on this one so you don't influence Brendan.
Ooh,
It's gonna influence me, even if he goes.
I think this is probably
4.25.
4.25. Yeah.
This taste is out of 4.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for the
All right,
reminder.
4 points, not 1, 2, not 3.
I'm going 2.25 here. It's above average, but not enough to drag me super high.
Brendan.
2.75. I think it's above average. I don't think it's great, which is what 3 territory, but I think it's very good. I think it's better than most bourbons. And I know we're trying not to factor in the price point, but like that's hard for me to completely exclude. Even before we get to value. It's good. It's very good. Very pleasant.
And
What about you?
thinking about 2.75, but I think I'm going to split you guys in the middle and go 2.5. Above average. I like some things about this. It's good. It's not. It's a 2.5 at the end of the day. So there's where we're at. Finish. I'll go on this one. I'll go 0.5. It's above average, but it's not above average enough for me to give it that full quarter point. It'd probably be like a 0.625 if we were giving eighths, but we're not, and so it gets rounded down just a little bit there. It'd probably be somewhere in that range, but closer to average than truly above average. Brendan.
I went between 0.25 and 0.5, but I can't give it a 0.25. I think that's too low, so I'm rounding up to 0.5 average.
Ben.
Yeah, same one.
0.5 all across the board. Cohesiveness and complexity. We'll go with Ben first on this one.
0.5. Not super complex, but cohesive enough.
Same score for me, same reasoning. Brendan.
0.75, super cohesive. I love the complexity. Like there's a fair amount going on, especially the nose. Ben even alluded like it has opened up and
It'll change a little bit, which I like.
Yeah. So it's like
As long as
average.
it's pleasant.
It's a average complexity. There's nothing crazy about it, but it's not boring by any means. So 0.75.
So our score after the first 4 rounds, Ben with a 4.5. I've got a 5 even, and Brendan with a 5.5. Bringing
That's
our
a
composite.
monster.
Yeah. Let's bring our composite pre-value to 5. We've got 2 points for value. Again, this is a $25, $30 bottle for a liter, 100 proof.
Gentleman Jack for comparison was 4.58 composite total. That's with value added in.
Yeah. So every category got higher than this. With this one, but this is a $25, $30 bottle. 100 proof. It is a liter, right? A liter of it.
Yeah, a liter for $25.
Harder to find in
Florida
Florida specifically, but it is, it is fairly available.
It's
I didn't realize
it's basically not being available
in
This
Florida.
is
I didn't
gone.
realize this was a liter. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not available today, but I think you would base that on how. I mean, you could base your value on whatever you want, but I would base it on like when you got it, what that was. I mean,
Yeah.
because it will come back. So,
I don't know.
maybe. Yeah. Like if it's
It's not even
discontinued.
it's like
If
say
it's
they're gonna bring-
discontinued, then we'd have it as 0. But like basing it on like where it was when it was purchased,
yeah,
it's almost how I think you have to kind of assume that one.
right.
Brendan, you go last. We save the best for last.
Yeah.
Ben,
What did
2 points.
What did I give the Old Forester 100? I think this is a direct competitor to me.
Oh,
You gave it a what? You gave it. It had.
Yeah.
You gave that a 1.75.
Yeah. I don't think I'm too far off of that. I get a liter though. A liter for $3 more. As opposed, it's 250 mils for $3. That's really solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it doesn't outperform on taste, but it definitely delivers at least equal value. So 175. I think that's the best competitor I got.
I like your score. I can't say this is a perfect value because it was down from that Old Forester just a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit harder to find than that. So I can't give it the perfect score, but I like your reasoning. I like your score. 1.75. Brendan.
1.75. If this was readily available, if it was in Florida and I could just drive to the ABC
It's
and pick it up
impossible.
any old
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
it would be a 2. It may even be like a 2.5 or something like that. But it's not, and you have to hunt for it a little bit, but you can find it. And it is a very good sipping bourbon at a great price. So 1.75 for me. It is a great value, pretty close to elite.
Bringing our final scores, Ben with a 6.25, myself with a 6.75, and Brendan with a 7.25. Composite there. Well, they all kind of go in a row. 6.75. Doesn't make the big board, but a really good above average value. Like that's pretty good.
We definitely need to do a early time when they release the Sazerac.
Oh, that's a good one.
Once that comes out, we have to,
Do you guys know with that in mind, Ben? That's a good idea. 1920. So Old Forester changed up their juice in like 1920.
Yes.
1910.
The new label. We need to do that again.
But
old
apparently
label versus new label.
But it's different juice so we need to
exactly. We definitely need to compare old and new label. They say it's really different. I'm down for that.
All right, content. Let's do that.
100%.
So if you can find this, I think we're saying this is above average value. I would suggest getting this. I think this is a good bottle, good value, beautiful bottle and art. I hate the screw top, but I do think the art on this bottle is beautiful. I don't know what the new one will. Don't know what the new one will look like, but
it's super unique. Like you see that in the store right away. Like it pops.
It's pretty. So little dark blue.
I think it's the blue because like it's kind of tacky in a way too, but fun. It's super on brand for early times, for like what I think early times is.
Also, please note there is early times in the store in Florida. It's not the bottle of wine. Okay, just be aware. If you walk in, you're like, oh, I got this early. These guys are idiots. They shipped to Florida. Wrong. You're wrong.
We need to do a bet. I don't know what, but the loser's going to have to buy a bottle of early times, drink it, and review it themselves by themselves.
Chug the whole thing.
It's safe.
Well, you know what I always heard, fellas. If you're looking for a good time, early times, and cheer wine.
Oh my
All right. Go make sure you check out Tuesday's episode in which we review the K-Sig bottles. That's the Costco Kirkland signature brand bourbons.
The best.
Interact with us on social media. It's Bourbon on a Budget. And we will be back next week in which we do, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to talk, guess what? Behind the scenes peek here. We're going to talk about content ideas for next week after we hang up on you guys. This isn't a radio show, but I said hang up on you folks. So
for all you Patreon patrons, stay tuned for the after show. We talk about content for next week.
Dude, Joe's gonna slide in my DMs tomorrow and ask where what our Patreon.
Where's the Patreon? Stay tuned to the after show.
It's my PayPal. Thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you next week. Until next time, cheers.